Hello everybody, welcome to day 2 of week 2, Christmas in July. So glad that you have joined us. Today I want to start out by talking about colors. So I've got a few samples here that I want to show you. And the first one, let's see, color combinations. When you see this, you might think of Valentine's Day. And if you were to see orange and black, most likely you'll think about Halloween. And if you see red and green, you will most likely be thinking of Christmas. There are colors that just go well together. And then there are colors that have also become tradition. So when you see them, it automatically takes you somewhere, like Valentine's Day or Halloween, and of course Christmas. So that's what I want to talk about today, is just some of the color combinations and what might challenge us to venture out a little bit. Because remember, it is High Adventure Card Camp. So starting with our basic red and green. Very traditional. Many Christmas cards many Christmas themes are based around red and green. And the other interesting thing is if you make something with red and green, you most often will think of Christmas. Now, of course, you can do red and green things. I'm not saying that. But that is what our mind is drawn to, is Christmas when we see that. So we have this card here, that one of our cards for today. Most definitely you can see the Christmas nature in it, not only by the elements design, but also by the color scheme. But what may be a little more unexpected is to see pink. Now sometimes you will see a Christmas theme with pink intermixed as well. And so that is why I created this cute Merry and Bright Santa hats, so you can see the different color combinations. You may not think of Christmas, but if you start looking, you will start to notice the Christmas pink that you'll find. And one other color is a turquoise, or our seafoam. And often when you see seafoam, it makes you think of cool. It can be just a winter scheme as well, but when you add a little red or green to it, so this may fall more in the traditional colors, except we do have a little twist of the seafoam color here, and with just this little bit of pine bough, it definitely makes it feel Christmassy with the holly berry. And then, of course, the red wagon distress or rusty stripes. So you can see how the colors play with each other and how they create different feelings. So we are going to start with our first card here. Let me just scoot these all out of the way. And our supplies we've used for this card is card cutout 288, card cutout 292, and we already talked about secrets in day 1 of week 2 about cutting out this Christmas tree. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you see that, because that gives you some tips. And we did use the large tree, as you can see here. And then we used Christmas wishes off of the Christmas sentiments. And if you notice, those are mounted on our new tea stain tags. I really like how easy these are to work with. And then we just simply took a jute and tied a knot and glued it on. So I am not going to take the time to reconstruct this card with you today, but I just want you to know I did use mounting tape on the hat and the tree and the Christmas wishes. And then the tag, I just used double-sided tape. That allowed me to have several different dimensions and I think that is a nice look. So I'm going to move on from this card just because we have some fun things we're going to be doing, and you guys are all so good at card making. I know you can figure this out. So I'm going to set this aside. And now we're going to talk about the supplies used for our Merry and Bright Santa hats. And it's card cutout $2.89, card cutout $2.90, our pink geranium striped frames, and our cardboard paper. So again, this is very simple. And so we're not going to spend the time cutting out and doing each little element. However, it could be really cute to cut out these holly berries and stick them on the hats if you want to bring in just a little more traditional Christmas. And also, if you wanted to add more dimension, as we did in day one, we added a background to our striped frame, so you could certainly play with that as well. So I'm just going to scoot this over. And our next card, this cute little snowman. Grab the supplies we used for him. Okay, it is our our card cutout number 303, our card cutout 304, and we used the larger snowman here. Card cutout 148, and then the Midnight Sky Blizzard. So this is one of our new papers, and it is really fun to use. I hope you will enjoy it as well. So I have gone ahead and cut out a few of these pieces. Let me just grab them here. So these are the supplies used for this card as it is, and we are going to give it just a little twist in our day 2 of camp. So the same supplies, with the exception I added our midnight black tweed. So this is really a fun paper too. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay, so I already have the snowman cut out, and the frames, and our little sentiments. So I'll just set those aside right now. But I wanted to show you a new folding trick, or a card shape. And the most important thing, oh dear, I left my trimmer in the other room. I'll be right back. Okay, so the first thing we want to do with this new card fold is we are going to trim off the logo area where we have all of our colors and part numbers. We are just going to trim that off. So we have that little strip we've trimmed. And now we are going to measure corner to corner. You won't be able to use your trimmer for this because my trimmer is not big enough, not long enough. And then you'll just use a pencil to draw that straight line. And then if you get a little off, you can just erase that. But make sure your eraser is good. And then we're just going to cut along that line. And I have already done that for us. So here are our 2 pieces that I've cut, and all you'll do then is you turn them over, and you're going to fold this corner into that corner, and then you're going to fold this corner, and make sure you just crease it well, but you fold this. So now your card opens like so. Now, you could leave it so both flaps open, but I thought it would be a fun twist to have one side taped down and then have another pattern inside. So I thought this Midnight Blizzard would be really cute with this. So I am just going to quickly double side tape adhere this here, and I mean, feel free to do whatever adhesive you want. You want to make sure your card still folds or still closes. And now you still could leave that open, but I am going to go ahead and still close it. And I am just like so. So now when our card closes, you see there is just a little bit of an edge. So easy to trim off. I will just grab my trimmer and I will position it just so. And now I can trim all of that off and have a nice square edge as well. Except we didn't quite go through all of the layers. So let me just, I should have gone back over it again. I apologize. Okay, we got it this time, I think. Okay, so now we will set that aside and we're gonna go ahead and build our snowman. So want to build a snowman? We sure do. So I've got all my little pieces here. And the thing that I wanted to show you with this snowman is I have cut it out already, just roughly around here, and then pretty close to the edge, just leaving a little bit. And then if I want to come in and act like this is fringe, I'm just snipping like a little triangle. And you can hear when they cut. You see how those are a little jaggedy now? I think that just adds a little interest, but of course not necessary. So I'll just finish up these couple quickly. And you can do this other side as well. In fact, I will do it because it gives us a nice finished look when we're done here. And then if some of the fringe are a little shorter, you can also come in and trim those. So let me just see if I can get these little triangles to disconnect. Okay, so we've got those. You can see these little fringes are just a little shorter. So I've just come in and snagged those, and maybe those couple right there. So you can see we have our fringe all cut out. I just love how that looks. And then what we're going to do is we're going to piece this one. Of course you could use it just like this, but I want to show you how easy it is to piece, even though it already is one piece. So when I'm piecing, I just trim close to the edge. And you can see it left a couple of little tails here, so I'll just trim those off. And now I am just going to cut right up along the side where we're cutting one side of the scarf from the other side. So very easily now, because this layer is on top of this layer, I'm going to hook, it just tucks in, I'm going to hook this layer on first. So I'm going to use some mounting tape, and I've got I'll just cut us a few little pieces so we'll be ready to go. So I'm going to start with the bottom one, or start with the top one here, and I'm putting it on the printed side, and then I will tuck it under the part that wraps around the neck, like so. And then I will just add a piece to this one. And I want to make sure that I tuck it in so it's going under. The side is going under. You'll see what I mean. This side here, we want to make sure it goes under as well. Oh, I put the mounting tape on the wrong side, so let me just flip that over. And now we are just going to put this so it's almost like a double layer, because I have the mounting tape on this one and on this one, both pieces of scarf. So now when I hook it onto my snowman, see how it's really standing up there? I want to make sure that I position so there are enough mounting tape. Let's see, where did my little, here it is. So I'm going to start just kind of seeing how he fits on here. We'll go ahead and just hook the hat on. And it might be easier if you just go ahead and stick it onto the snowman's head. And now we're just going to put the hat on. And now we're going to see, okay, that looks like pretty good positioning. So I'm going to go ahead making a note of how far his chin is from the edge. And now I am going to add a couple of layers of mounting tape. I'm going to go up just a little bit more because I do like it when this hat kind of breaks the edges as well. So maybe we'll do like so. And then, oh yeah, that's going to be just perfect. And then we'll put the scarf on. Now what I'm putting on the scarf, the base, because I have used mounting tape on the little neck pieces as well, I'm going to go ahead and almost add a double layer, if you will, so we get all the dimension there we want. Okay, see how cute he is? And now what we're going to do is adhere him to this side only. So I'm just going to take my double-sided tape, and remember, I'm only adhering this side only. So when I flip it over, I need to remember which area I would want tape to be. I'll put a little here along the bottom. So I've just gone around this corner. I'm going to close both flaps so I can position it accordingly. And then look how cute. Oh dear, I put it on upside down. So I'm going to raise it just a little bit because I am also going to add this cute little sentiment, let it snow. I think it is so, but I have a hard time just using one. I want to use three because I think it's let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. You can't help but think of that song. I love that song. Anyway, so I'm just going to tuck this in here. And then, oh, that's so much better. So now when you open it, see what a cute shape you have here. And then you open it and look at the cute pattern you have inside. And then I am going to use, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. And because I don't want to add more bulk to the inside of the card, I am just going to go ahead and use double-sided tape versus mounting tape. So then I'm just going to leave my card, if kisses were snowflakes, I'd send you a blizzard. And then the front of the card, when it's closed, see how it hides that? But that is just such a cute and fun card, but so easy with that twist of a diagonal fold. So quick and fun, and you can use it with any card. I think it is a new fun twist for us. Okay, our next card wait until you see. It's so cute. If I can bring over my pile organized. Okay, the first thing I want to talk to you about are buttons. Now, I don't know if you have ever used our buttons, but they are a matte finish, so that makes them really nice to work with, and they match our papers. And the colors we're using today are cinnamon, sage green, kiwi, and straw hat. So we'll be using these. They come in 3 different sizes, and I'll show you those sizes in a second. I hope I have them all. Yes, there they are. So there are 3 sizes in each pack. So I will just set those aside. We also used our sentimentals, and this one, shoot, I can't remember its number. Let me see. This one is copper, but it's S114. SM114. And they are just little sheets of metal sentiments. So you just pull them out, and then you just twist them apart. So you can have a little metal sentiment you add to your cards. So the one I'm using today is Outside Frozy, Inside Cozy. And it comes in a copper and in a brass or gold finish. And the SM114C for copper and 114B for brass. So we'll set those aside. I already have my little moose cut out for us. So that's SM305. And then we are using card cutout 304 as well. And then barnwood and seafoam tweed. They are such fun colors, especially when we put them together. But we'll talk more about that in a minute. So I just wanted to show you one trick when you're cutting out this cute little moose. Leave the antlers hooked together. That way they go very easily under his head, and we can add some dimension, but it makes it easy for piecing. So I'm just going to grab some mounting tape. See how easy that is rather than trying to hook on individual pieces. You can position those how they go. And then I thought it'd be really cute. So the cards that we are working on today is a version of Let It Snow, this cute little snowman, and then our cute little moose here. We are going to combine those, and we showed you how this card's put together, and we've talked about this one. Let's see, did we talk about this one? I don't know if we did. But I did include his mouth, his nose, his head, over the scarf. And then I just added the little holly berry and the pine bough just to finish it off, give that little Christmas touch to it. And then did the red wagon stripes. And I love the little Merry Christmas, a little bit of a tongue twister. So we're not going to worry about rebuilding him, but I want to show you what we're making. We are creating the little lights that hang on his antlers. So isn't that cute? So we added a little touch of a holly leaf and a button to the snowman's hat as well. And then here's where we did the Outside Frozy, Inside Cozy. And I chose copper for this. I just like how it felt with the overall card. So I wanted to show you how I made these cute little lights using our buttons. Now, as I mentioned earlier, see if I can bring the buttons over without spilling them. I've got my thread, my needle and thread here. And our buttons, as I mentioned, come in 3 sizes. So you can see they're sizes here. Those 3 are out of 1 pack. And then the buttons have a flat side and a rounded side. The flat side is meant to be the base or the underneath side. So I'm starting from the underneath side. Oh dear, I have a knot in my thread. Let's see if we can get that out. Well, I couldn't get it out, but I could go through it, so that will work. So I have it coming up one side, so I come in from the bottom, and now I'm on the top, and I go back down. And then I just slide it down, and you want probably about 4 or 5 inches of buttons. Now when it was going behind the head, I did not put buttons back there. It would make it too bulky. So you can see here what they all look like strands together. And then I just wrapped them around the antlers here. And you could twist them however you want. I just cut deeper slots into his antlers so they would stick down in. So I just want to go through this a couple more steps with you and tell you a couple of tricks that I learned. One, the yellow is very bright. Let me bring it over here. Very bright. So I decided I maybe would use fewer of those than the other colors. And remember, you come in from the bottom and then you go back down through the top. And it's a little tight, but not bad at all. And then I just spaced them about a 1/2 inch apart. And originally when I was doing this, I was thinking, okay, once I get them all on, then I'll use glue dots. Oh, remember, up from the bottom. I almost did it wrong. And then back down through the top. So I was thinking I would just glue them all in place. And then the more I got them hooked together, oh my gosh, they looked like Christmas lights. You know how you get those out of storage, out of their box, and they are going every which way. So again, up from the bottom and back down through the top. And then you can reposition them. So I did a few, and then you can see how many you want to do. And then as I was putting it on the card, I just slid them, holding on to one end, I just slid them and arranged them. So as I mentioned, I'd cut deeper into those antlers. So now I can take my thread and I just pull it down from there. And I decided not to glue mine down because I thought they were so funny. And then you just keep adding more buttons. Something else I tried to do. This is another high adventure thing. My son, he for a high school little job, he decided he would install Christmas lights on people's houses. And so as he did that more, he learned that if you wanted to do like red and white lights, you put 2 red and maybe 1 white, 2 red, or you can do 2 red, 2 white, 2 red. But he learned that they show up better and don't look as erratic as when you just did every other one. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing. So I literally took that to heart and I tried. I wanted mine to be more random than red, green, or red, red, green, green. So I put 2 colors that were like the same color by each other. And I did it on purpose because I felt it looked more random. Okay, so if we look at the first one I made, you can see I do have like a couple of the sage greens together, a couple of the kiwis. So I really try to make it fill and look random, but it's hard to make something feel and look random on purpose. So, but I think it turned out really cute and fun. So another thing I want to show you just quickly is how to put these dang little buttons away. And I just use a little scrap paper, slide it under. That is the easiest thing to do. The bags are reclosable. So then you just open it up, and then I just kind of squish it together and I drop them in like that. So you can see that is really easy. I'm just going to do the rest of the colors as well, but I will just slide them out of the way right now. So I don't know if you have noticed or if you have this problem as well, but sometimes my cards are getting too big for the britches and they don't fit on the envelope anymore. So what I decided, what I started thinking about, and I'm like, you know, there are other size cards. You've not really made them before. But I started researching what an A7. I sell A7 cards. I print a lot of A7 cards with Memory Mixer for Christmas, graduation, etc. So I have A7 envelopes. So I Googled, and an A7 card is 10 1/8 by 7 inches. So, but look how cute that fits on that page. Now, of course, you would cut it off and, let's see, I had a little envelope here too, but I'm not seeing it. But it's just fits perfectly in the A7 envelope. But isn't that just a cute way to finish it? And then you don't need to worry about things going off the edge or not fitting in your envelope. So Merry Christmas, everybody. Thanks for stopping. I love summer camp, and I am so glad you have joined us. So if you've missed yesterday, go ahead and get started, and we will see you tomorrow. Week 2, day 3, Christmas in July. Can't wait.